Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are so glad that you've joined us tonight. We will start momentarily as we begin our presentation on Rising Freshman Course Selection. Before we get started, let's go back one slide, Miss Aber.
I am trying.
We're gonna ask you to join the Remind program. There we go. And utilizing the code CHS Grad 29 to 81010. This is our Remind, which will help you be familiar with some of the events that are coming up. We'll get started momentarily, give you a little bit of time to join the Remind. Thank you.
Hello and welcome to freshman registration for the class of 2029. We'll get started very quickly here. If you wish to join the Remind group for the class of 2029, please text at CHS Grad 29 to the number 81010. We'll get started very shortly. Good evening and welcome to freshman registration. This is for the class of 2029, and we welcome you to your first meeting for your rising freshmen. Tonight we will be talking about graduation requirements and reviewing some of the information that we shared with your students today in their U.S. history classes. This presentation is being recorded, and you will be able to view it on the CHS website probably after tomorrow afternoon. We will go a little bit beyond today's presentation to students and add on additional information, and you may use the question and answer feature on the webinar if you would like to have any questions and you would like to get some more information during this webinar. So we welcome you and we will begin. Our counseling team is comprised of 6 alpha counselors at the high school. Your student will be assigned to a counselor by their last name. And you can see our 6 counselors here: Mr. Trosch, Mrs. Vogel, Ms. Ceccarelli, Mrs. Cizik, Mr. Anderson, and myself, I am Ms. Hebert. Claremont High School's website is the first tool that we shared with your students today in their classroom. So this is a picture of the Claremont High School website, and we directed students to go to the Counseling and Career Department tab on the website to get more resources. On the CHS counseling department, it has an overview of our counseling staff and other features on the counseling website. But the most important feature for your students is the course selection tab highlighted here by the yellow arrow. And we asked your students to click here to start to begin their course selection for freshman year. This gave an overview to students about the steps that we are taking to ensure that they make good choices for ninth grade and how we will outline the registration process for them. So step one, this may be harder to see on the slide, but step one is the counselors were in U.S. history classes today at El Roble. We showed them how to use the electronic form that we asked all students to use today to make selections. This form is editable for the next 14 days, meaning that if today your student put in a request for a class, an elective for next year, that can be edited up until 11:59 on March 20th if they want to change a course selection, a start time, a world language, etc. This will become a little bit more clear later on. Tonight, we're having the webinar, which is another opportunity for questions and answers. The form will be open again for 14 days for course selection and course editing. We do expect students to talk to their parents, to talk to caregivers, to talk to teachers, to talk to their peers, maybe older siblings at the high school, to confirm selections, go over ideas. We will have the electives fair at El Roble next Wednesday, March 12th, where the electives and students who are in different electives at the high school can share their experiences with the 8th graders. On Thursday, next Thursday, March 13th, we have open house at Claremont High School. We invite parents and students to come and see their new campus and also see firsthand some of the elective options in action. See the art classrooms, see the music groups, see the choir groups, the theater groups, and get excited about what comes ahead. The form again stays open through March 20th, and then on March 27th and March 28th, the Claremont High School counselors will return to El Roble to review the course requests that were the final course requests that were submitted as of March 20th and review those courses with your students. We will have an opportunity to confirm that their ninth grade courses are in place and that if there were any questions about other like summer school assignments or anything else, that we can answer their questions. So this again is the steps that I just outlined for helping your students make good selections for ninth grade. And then on the same website, your students would go to the class of 2029 to pick up more information. And this is what that link will look like, where again, it outlines what's happening. Tonight's webinar link is here, and we directed your students to look at the different tools that are on this website to get more information about Claremont High School. The course selection form is the third tab, and we use that form today. Open house is again next Thursday, March 13th. We do encourage all our students to, future students to attend and see campus. It can be a great experience. We shared with your students that Claremont High School will offer summer school this summer for the class of 2029. We will have 2 summer school sessions where a student can take 1 class during session 1 and 1 class during session 2. Session 1 is outlined to be from June 20th through July 3rd, and the school day will be from 8 to 2:30 each day. Session 2 will be July 7th through Friday, July 18th, another 10-day session from 8 a.m. to 2:30 each day. Options for summer school would be fitness PE. Students could take fitness PE session 1 for 5 credits and session 2 for another 5, or simply take 5 credits if they wanted to over a 10-day period. The purpose of taking fitness PE this summer would be to create space for another elective in sophomore year, because students are required normally to take PE in 9th grade and 10th grade. Taking 10 credits or 2 sessions of PE in summer school would open up one elective slot in sophomore year. We plan to offer geography this summer in session 1 to fulfill the geography requirement, and that geography class would also fulfill the MYP social science course needed for 9th graders. So that could be an easy way to fulfill the MYP social science requirement over the summer instead of taking the full year of social science in 9th grade. The third class we plan to offer this summer is Integrated Math 2, the second half of Integrated Math 2. This class will be taught over the 4 weeks, over both sessions, 20 days long. This option is only for students enrolled currently in Integrated Math 1-2. That's the accelerated math class at El Roble, and that would be for students who wish to advance to Integrated Math 3 in 9th grade, or the enhanced Integrated Math 3 AP Pre-Calculus in 9th grade. The summer school link will open on March 27th, which coincides with the Claremont High School's counselor's return to El Roble to meet with our 8th graders. School will begin on August 27th, and freshman registration will happen the week prior. Currently, we're planning for registration for grade 9 to be on August 18th. It's an important day to come to campus where students can secure any books, their iPad, their 9th grade schedule, get locker information, and get their high school Minga ID as well. Our Link Crew, which is a group of our juniors and seniors at Claremont High School, we'll also be working with our brand new freshmen to help welcome them to campus, get them oriented, get them connected. And that's a very valuable and essential part of registration is the Link Crew experience for our new freshmen. We told your students today that our school day begins at either 7:25 with a 2:31 dismissal, or students can begin school at 8:30 with a 3:30 dismissal. Our zero period offerings are limited, but we do our very best to accommodate requests. Students are expected to be in 6 classes each year in high school, certainly 6 classes in freshman year. It is possible to have 7 classes, which would mean your student would start school at 7:25 and end their day at 3:30. And we explained that students could use their electronic form that we shared today to tell us about the need for 7 classes and how to request that. At Claremont High School, we have 1 lunch period, and freshmen do not earn an off-campus lunch pass, but upper grades can earn an off-campus lunch pass based on strong grades and excellent attendance. We hope that our students will consider the clubs and organizations that make high school fun. We will have a club rush day in the fall, and part of some of the electives will be to share some of the clubs that exist on campus. Our clubs vary from animal rights groups to movie clubs to various special interests. And students can even create their own club at the high school, which is really fun. And it can be a great opportunity to create something that'll last past your high school experience. Athletics is a big part of high school too. To be eligible for athletics, students must have a 2.0 GPA. An athletic clearance or physical is required. And Mr. Sainin is our athletic director. He will be certain to come to El Roble's campus later in the spring to give more information to students who are interested in playing sports at Claremont High School. And We also asked today on the electronic form that all your students had about their interest in sports. One of the reasons that we want to do this is to make sure that all students know all the different 24 sports that we field at Claremont High School, and so that we can also start that communication between potential student athlete and our athletic department. The Claremont High School website also has a specific athletics page, and we welcome you to view that at your leisure. At Claremont High School, we have 2 semesters, and each semester is divided into 6-week triads. So students will get a progress report card at 6 weeks, 12 weeks, and the semester grade will now be posted on their high school transcript. There are, again, 2 semesters per school year. A C or better is required for all college preparatory courses, and C's or better are needed to continue on in mathematics and world language courses. D's earn enough credit for the diploma, but C's or better are needed for college. Every course a student takes per semester earns 5 credits. Again, D is passing, but insufficient for a higher level math, world language, or higher level sciences. For students who are interested in going to a 4-year college directly out of high school, a grade of C or better is required. Students who earn an F grade do not earn credits, and Fs need to be remediated in summer school to ensure on-time graduation. At Claremont High School, we require 220 credits to graduate. The credits are dispersed as follows. Students must complete 30 credits of social science, 40 credits of English, 4 years of English, 20 credits or 2 years of mathematics, including 1 year of integrated math 1, 20 credits or 2 years of science, 10 credits or 1 year of either an art, world language, or career technical education class, abbreviation is CTE, and 20 credits or 2 years of physical education. The balance of those, that is a total of 150 credits. The other 70 credits come from electives, and that is any class that is above the graduation requirement. Breaking it down further, the social science requirement for graduation is 1 year of world history, 1 year of US history, a semester of government, and a semester of economics. And you can see the breakdown of those courses and in what grade they appear. 9th graders do not have a social science requirement. To enter a 4-year college, the high school uses the A through G requirements to communicate to students those 15-year-long college prep classes that the UC and Cal State system require for minimum admission. The 15-year-long courses are divided among subject areas, and the A subject area is the social science. To enter a UC or Cal State directly out of high school, students must have 1 year of world history and 1 year of US history. Another thing to remember too are the A through G requirements generally mirror the admission requirements of all US colleges and universities, so it becomes a good framework for 4-year college preparation. Next is English. 4 years of English are required for the diploma. 4 years of English is also required for college admission. English is considered the B subject requirement, subject area B. Next is mathematics. To graduate from high school, 1 year of integrated math isn't required, plus any additional year of math. A lower level or higher level math satisfies the graduation requirement. Colleges and universities want to see 3 years of mathematics, integrated math 1, 2, and 3, and more is recommended, particularly for certain majors and future careers. The math subject requirement is area C. We gave this diagram is visible on your student's course request form. It was just a handy way to explain mathematics at Claremont High School. We have created several math pathways for our students needs based on if they want to accelerate or if they wish to keep a similar pace to what they've had this year, or if they need additional help in mathematics. So for example, if a student is struggling getting a D in Math 8, we're recommending students take Math 1A. And if a student is failing Math 8, we are recommending students consider taking integrated math readiness. At Claremont High School, we also have created that Integrated Math 1A, which is a year-long math class, which slows down the teaching and progression of the Integrated Math 1. It's for students who have struggled in Math 8, possibly Math 7. So it takes the material down and breaks it down more slowly to ensure a stronger foundation in math. Claremont High School will look at your year-end math grades and multiple measures in mathematics to ensure proper placement in the fall. To graduate from high school, you need 1 year of life science and 1 year of physical science. For four-year colleges, you'll need 1 year of life science, like biology, and a year of physical science, which can be satisfied by courses such as chemistry or physics, whether that's college prep, AP, or IB physics in high school. The science requirement is subject D. Science for freshman year, we're recommending physical science if your students will be taking math readiness or integrated math 1A in freshman year. If your student is enrolled in integrated math 1 or higher in 9th grade, we want your students to select biology. Some of our science classes do have some math problem-solving equations, so we want them to be ready for the demands of that course. Physical education is a graduation requirement. We require 20 credits or 2 years of PE for the diploma. We expect all our 9th graders to take PE, and we expect 10th graders to also take PE and earn their 10 credits. All sophomores are required to take PE unless they have completed their 20 credits of PE by the beginning of their sophomore year. So earlier when I mentioned our summer school fitness PE option, that would be available. Students could take 10 credits of summer school PE, and that would not bypass the 9th grade PE requirement. 9th graders will still be enrolled in PE, but it would open up a slot or a period in 10th grade so that they could have an additional elective if they wanted to. And of course, if students have fulfilled their PE credits in high school but enjoy having physical education, they can have more. Your students can fulfill their 9th grade PE requirement by either taking freshman PE or dance PE, or by being a student athlete. And on their course request form, we went over today how students can communicate on their form if they're playing fall, winter, or spring sports so that we can properly note their placement in the athletic PE, or what we call team sports at the high school. So period 6 team sports, again, is our way of providing a 6-period PE for our athletes. This way, when athletes are conditioning or they have away games, they are not having their academic instruction compromised by their sport. And we are told, counselors are told by the athletic director and coaches which students need period 16 sports because they are CHS school athletes. Next is the graduation requirement, known as either a year of world language or a year of arts or a year of career technical education coursework such as ROP courses. ROP courses are designated by an R. at the end of the course title on the course request form so our students can know where those ROP classes are. To enter a UC or Cal State, students must have 2 years minimum of a world language known as the Subject E requirement, and colleges such as UC and Cal State and some other public university systems outside of California will also require a year of visual or performing arts class known as Subject F. At Claremont High School, students can take world languages. We offer German, Spanish, and French. We offer years 1 through 4 at Claremont High School, the 4th year being AP Advanced Placement or IB International Baccalaureate World Language. To start a world language at Claremont High School, students must have a C or better in English 8 this June. We also offer Spanish heritage speakers at Claremont High School, and this course is for students who have learned Spanish previously, either by living in a country that speaks Spanish or learning it from home. And these students in the heritage class will have a more enriched experience where they can really focus on the reading and the writing skills in Spanish, as well as strengthen their expressive and receptive skills in Spanish. The UC and Cal State system also have a single year of college prep electives known as the Subject G requirement at Claremont High School that's easily fulfilled by the government and economics requirement for graduation. It can be satisfied in many ways. That 3rd year of world language, a 3rd year of science, etc., all fulfill that G subject elective. So that is easily met that way. For freshman year, most freshmen are able to take 2 electives based on the fact that a 6-period day is the typical schedule for a freshman. One of their electives can be a world language. If students choose not to take a world language or are not ready to take a world language, students can choose additional elective options which are available on their electronic form. And we asked students today to list a primary elective, their top choice, and 2 alternates. Again, we do our very best to make sure kids get their elective choices, but we do sometimes struggle with finding the place for all students for top electives. So we do want students to give us electives they could be happy taking at CHS. All right, so the electronic course selection form your students got today is editable. Students can go as many times as they wish, 100 times a day for the next 14 days, and edit their course requests. The course request form will close at midnight on March 20th, and we showed your students how they could edit their requests as needed. The key is that if you go back to your form after you submit it, you can edit it. Just make sure you go through the entire form, review all your selections, and then hit submit. It's that submit button that will then update any changes to your course requests. And again, this course request form is usable for the next 14 days. Claremont High School counselors will return to the El Roble campus and see all of the 8th graders through their PE class on March 27th and March 28th. When we come back to El Roble, we will have printed your students' course requests as of midnight, March 20th. We will also be able to see their grades from English and math for last semester and hopefully this first triad, to make sure that their selections for next year are consistent. And then prerequisite checks will be made after June grades post to ensure proper placement for all our students. Next is Ms. Gosnell, our MYP program coordinator, who will speak about the MYP option.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Andrea Gosnell, and I run the MYP program at El Roble and CHS. I was able to present to half of our eighth graders currently, and I will finish that next Monday. And just giving a broad overview of the program at CHS. There will be, and on the last slide, a parent meeting that does go over this in more depth for the 2-year pathway in 9th and 10th grade. And I will give you that slide at the end of my little bit. So really what makes MYP different in the 9th and 10th grade is these 5 lenses. First is we're really taking the idea of accuracy of information and exploring a variety of different topics into the idea of discourse, right? Really getting into deeper discussions, debate, and learning how we can agree or disagree in a respectful manner while still honoring each other and our differences. We talked a lot about that now that our students will be taking finals. One aspect that students have really communicated as a benefit to the MYP program is the idea of authentic assessments, that during finals and other summative tasks, our students are given a variety of assessment types to challenge them in a different way. Science service is also embedded into the students' learning experience, and that's growing every single year that the program is developed. One, we really work towards writing that curriculum that meets the IB philosophy. But then we really look at elevating that experience with career pathways and embedded service, really looking at preparing them for college and beyond. And as they start in 9th grade and very much so in the 10th grade, you're going to get a lot of interdisciplinary learning where students are engaging in 2 to 3 subject areas and using the content that they are learning from those subject areas to extend in their learning and connecting it through projects and other experiences. Can we move forward? Thanks. One thing that's new to the program next year and to CHS is that all of our 9th and 10th graders will enroll in MYP classes. That does not mean that they are earning the MYP certificate. So all students in 9th grade will enroll in MYP English, math, which is level IM1 and IM2. So depending on the pathways previously presented, that would determine if it is an MYP class or not. MYP biology, physical education, and world language. This does not mean that they are an MYP certificate student. This just means that they are engaging in MYP coursework. Students who want to pursue the certificate would need to commit to the following things in the 9th and 10th grade year. One, in 9th grade, continuing social science, and previously it was presented some of those options, and we will discuss that as well, and continuing world language. The IB obviously feels that to be a global citizen, we need to engage in those world languages and the cultural perspective that comes alongside that. In the 10th grade year, they continue world language and they do complete a personal project in their 10th grade year that is supported on campus but implemented off campus. Next slide, please. So we did some exit surveys. So last year was our first official year of students completing the program in its entirety. And in our exit survey, this is some of the reasons why students said that they liked and committed to the IB MYP certificate. One is college acceptance, right? So they really want to do things that stand out from other students. And so, yes, our students are taking courses, but not all students will earn that certificate. Two, they really like that it is embedding those global concepts and awareness of the world around us, right? The local global issues and the relevancy into their curriculum, the variety of assessments that I previously spoke about, and really the idea of, and it is pretty amazing on how much students grow between their 8th grade year and 10th grade year through this process, is developing their skills, right? How do we challenge them in a multiple of different ways to help them increase the capacity of communication, thinking, technology, and just integrating skills into the curriculum across all subject areas. Can you please move ahead? As I mentioned, one of the requirements to earn the NYP certificate is a project. This is a very brief overview, but I will go in depth on the parent and caregiver meeting that I will be giving. It is viewed more as a passion project. Students really get to explore any interest, any topic that they want. They choose a goal, create their pathway towards the goal at hand, and it does take about 25 hours outside of school. So for instance, they may explore a future career, a hobby or interest that they're invested in, or something that they've never done before. So they identify a goal and then work towards creating a plan to achieve that goal. It is taught within our school day, but again, ends up being about 20 hours outside of school, 5 hours inside of school, 20 hours outside. And at the end, it does culminate in a speech and a paper that the students do that is really a narrative about why they chose their particular goal and how they went towards executing a plan to achieve their goal. So as discussed previously, these are two schedules, and I know you guys just reviewed all of the coursework, but on the left-hand side, you'll see a 9th grade schedule for an MYP student. All students in 9th grade will take English, math, science, and PE. Those are required courses as a 9th grade student. As I previously mentioned, world language is something that all MYP students are required to continue completing. And then they do need to take social science, right? That is an extra course that one would consider, but it is a requirement of the MYP program. As mentioned, geography and ROP mental and behavioral health are summer school options that students can do to meet this requirement. Other things students do pursue is a 7-period day, and then trying to advocate for an asynchronous physical education class, which is not guaranteed, but is an option for some students. And so one thing that is very nice and amazing of our counselors is after this Google form is complete, when they meet one-on-one with the students, they are speaking to them specifically about how are you going to meet that requirement and how do we get that into your schedule when they meet during their physical education classes on March 27th and 28th. As I mentioned, there is a parent meeting going over the program in depth. This is just a quick overview. Most people are aware of the IB MYP program and have been engaging in it at El Roble. It's just really an elevation of that. I will be going into depth on March 11th and 12th. I do hold a morning session and an evening session via Zoom to really talk about like what does the curriculum look like, are we asking students to complete, and then going in and building perspective and understanding on that personal project. So please plan to attend.
All right, we have some questions already in the chat. And since Ms. Gosnell have you here, I'm going to throw some MYP questions. How much extra work is the MYP program, especially for a student athlete?
Yeah, so the program is not necessarily extra work. What we really try to discuss is that the rigor within the program is leaning on the ideas of the critical thinking and the complexity of the issues that we are exploring. So it wasn't our goal to create extra busy work. It's really about the experience within classroom instruction that they are engaging in.
Perfect. Another MYP question. Can you do MYP and AVID at the same time?
Yes. So if students are in AVID, and I did discuss this with those students, it does excuse them from that social science requirement as their social science course.
Perfect. I have a question here, and I think Miss Abear would probably be best to answer this one. Do you need the MYP certificate in order to participate in the IB program?
No, although it is certainly an option, doing the MYP certificate is not a prerequisite for the IB diploma option at Claremont High School.
Perfect. We have a question here. Can we speak with counselors about classes and what the expectations are? This is a lot to digest. Yes, we do know this is a lot to digest. Open house next week. Counselors are available in the office, and we would be glad to talk with anybody if you want to come in and ask us questions.
We also encourage you to go to those classrooms and
Yes.
talk to the teachers, because they will be delivering the instruction and giving you an overview. And it is really your best source of information, is the teacher connection and the classroom visit.
Perfect. If a student did a language at aerobics, does it count towards their CHS credits? Ms. Aber, you want to answer that one?
Was it, could you repeat it?
If a student did, if a student did a language at El Roble, does it count towards their CHS credits?
So credits earned or classes taken at El Roble are not high school courses. However, if you did, say, German 1 in 8th grade, and Ms. Tsai says you're ready for German 2 in 9th grade, please select German 2 on your form for next year, your course request form. And that German 2 in 9th grade counts as that second year of world language needed, the minimum needed for colleges and universities for admission. And from German 2, you could go on to German 3 in sophomore year, etc. The one difference also is mathematics. So if you're currently in integrated math 1 at El Roble, you're not getting 10 credits on your high school transcript for integrated math 1. But colleges would understand by seeing your transcript in about 3.5 years, if you went on to integrated math 2 in 9th grade and so on, that you did take math 1 as an 8th grader. But you're not getting high school credits for 8th grade classes.
Perfect. I have a question here about general electives. For electives, are students committed for the entire year? Could they take jazz one semester and band for another semester? Ms. Aber, I'll let you take that one again.
All of our courses are year-long at Claremont High School. So for example, if you chose psychology, sociology, it would be a semester of psychology, but the next course in the new semester in the spring would be sociology. So jazz band, theater, choir, those are year-long classes at the high school.
Thank you. What happens if you don't do good in the first semester, but are doing great now? I'm assuming that means at El Roble right now.
That's great news. Continue that upward and positive performance. That's all to the good. We are looking at the June grades to confirm placement in mathematics and science and world language next year.
Apologize here. We had a question about the taking 7 periods. So earlier today when CHS counselors were at our Roble, I think one of them mentioned something about how if you take a certain class, then you must take 7 periods. Can you fill me in on that? I'm assuming we're talking about the MYP Individuals in Society. So if you are part of the MYP program, you are required to take a Individuals and Societies course. That's an option to take as your elective. You could also take that and take an additional elective on top of that. That would be the 7-period situation. Or you could choose to take the Individuals and Societies course during the summer and then still have an elective with only 6 periods during the school year. So yes, 7 periods is an option for students who in MYP, but is not required. There are other ways to get that in. Can a student take 6 periods and be in sports PE with a 0 period with MYP? I'm trying to read this over here. So sports PE potentially could be a 6 period. And if you're doing a 0 through 6, you would have a 7-period day, and you would be able to take both an elective and MYP in that. Yes, that is a possibility. Question, does MYP look good in college apps? And again, I'm going to defer to Ms. Aber, one of our experts.
So the MYP certificate completers will have that designation on their high school transcript. Colleges will also be looking to see your strength of curriculum in junior year and senior year. The IB diploma is known widely as the most rigorous program because of its multiple requirements. But again, the IB diploma is grade 11 and 12. We also offer advanced placement at Claremont High School. We offer 20 advanced placement classes, and you can also look forward to dual enrollment college classes at Claremont High School. We really don't have that option available for ninth grade, but in subsequent grades, you can also look at dual enrollment classes as another opportunity to enrich your program in high school.
Perfect. We had a question about cheerleading and PE. This is true for cheerleading and dance. Cheerleading and dance, students who are participating in that would also be enrolling in the team sports program, and that is their PE credits. And so yes, that happens. You will not see that under the sports listed. We asked our students to add that into the additional notes at the bottom. We as counselors do want to know for both cheerleading and dance, please put that down in the bottom that you're interested in those sports. On the same note about how do we know if our student is going to be in team sports, especially if they're trying out for a sport for the first time. At this time, we're asking students to pick that PE course, either freshman PE or dance. When they try out, coaches will give our athletic director, Mr. Sannon, their rosters, and that will determine who is in the team sports class. Question here, what if your student was absent today? So the presentation we did in class has already been recorded and posted on the CHS website. It's in the same location where students can find all the other information about course selection. We showed that earlier in the slideshow. And so that is available on the CHS website already, and students can watch that and follow along as we walk them through the course request form. Okay. I had a question about, I think it was a follow-up question about MYP language, about it counting as a year of world language in high school. So again, I'll let Ms. Aber answer this one, and I'll keep looking at questions.
Sure. So if your eighth grader is in a German class at El Roble or Spanish 1, the teacher will indicate to your student if they're ready for the second year of that language at Claremont High School. If they're going on to year 2 of a world language in ninth grade, the transcript, the high school transcript, will show Spanish 2 or German 2 on the transcript at the high school, and they will receive 10 world language credits. The difference is that for colleges will recognize the completion of a second year world language in high school as having completed the minimum admission requirement for college acceptance. And again, students are always going to be encouraged to go beyond the minimum when it's possible to increase their options after graduation, whether it's college, career, or other plans. And in terms of the titles, our first and second year world language classes are titled MYP because of the MYP pedagogy and grading rubrics. The world language classes can be taken by any student at Claremont High School, years 1 through 4. You need not be an MYP certificate-bound student. What is required to begin a world language year 1 at Claremont High School is a C in English this June at El Roble.
I've had several questions come up about summer school enrollment and all of that. Summer school forms are not available yet. That should be available by the time we are meeting with our students individually. So we're expecting that to be available around March 27th and 28th. A Canvas message will be sent out through El Roble so that all parents have access to that and can review the summer school options. Okay. Let's see here.
If you also have an older student at the high school, the summer school form for your current 8th grader, rising 9th grader will be separate from the summer school form that an older student at Claremont High School will have access to. So just be aware that it's a separate Rising Ninth Grade Class of 2029 form for summer.
So I have a question here. Can I take student council and psychology and sociology, planning to run for freshman office? The answer to that is yes. So if you are an MYP student, psychology and sociology would be counting as your individuals and societies class. You then could also take, as a 7-period day, you could also take student council in order to be involved in that as well. That is a possibility. What if my student will participate in a winter sport? So we actually ask for fall, winter, and spring sports. And yes, team sports would be an option for those students as well. Will this PowerPoint be available for parents to look at? It is actually currently available on the CHS website. Love to have you take a look at that one. I see some of these are being answered as I'm reading them. Thank you, guys. I appreciate my team answering. Let's see here. If my student does only one fitness PE session this summer, would they take another summer session between frosh and sophomore year, or could they just take? So yes, if you do one fitness PE session this summer, so our summer school is 2 sessions long. Each session is a 5-credit class. So if you take one fitness PE this summer, you have 5 credits. At the end of the freshman year, you would have 15 credits. And then between your sophomore or freshman and sophomore year, you could take, again, one more session and then be done with a total of 20. So that is correct. Okay. Any of my other counselors, if you see questions that I have skipped over, please chime in. Looking for any additional questions.
Just for clarification, Jeremy, is the summer school link live yet on the website?
It is
And
not
No.
live.
Okay, and
No.
when is there an anticipated window?
We have been told by our
27th of March.
administration that should be available, but by the time we meet with students on March 27th and 28th, that has been that's our timeline from our administration.
Perfect, thank you.
I had a question, is it possible for my child to take IB classes and still take AP exams? So in the junior and senior year, students are capable of enrolling in IB classes, either as a full diploma candidate or just individual IB classes. Again, this is for junior and senior year. Students can take AP examinations when they're not enrolled in the AP class. So yes, you could, for example, take IB history and take the AP US history class. Our IB classes are geared towards the IB exams, so they may not cover the same material, but is a possibility. That's an option for our students in junior and senior year.
However, you cannot do the reverse. So if you are in an AP US history class in junior year, you are not able to sign up for the IB history exam because the IB diploma organization requires you to, not requires, only allows you to take an IB exam if you're an IB student. But that's again for junior year and senior year classes for IB diploma.
I have another really good question here. How do we request our child to be allowed to register for 7 classes? So that is not on the form because the majority of our students will not take 7. They'll take 6 classes. But if your student wants to take 7 classes, and then I always think of my kids in jazz band who want to take jazz band and marching band, or who want to take choir and theater. That's common, and a lot of our students will try and do that. There is at the very end of the form, there is a place to leave additional information. We want our students to type it in there. So that's a very easy place to put it for us. Okay. Let's see here. When will athletics tryouts be held? Each sport will have their own set of tryouts. More information will be available on the CHS Athletics website. You can find that on the CHS main page. And coaches will also inform interested athletes in terms of the tryouts once those are figured out. Each coach has their own dates for that. Can you take psychology in the summer? As of right now, we do not believe psychology will be offered this summer. That may change between now and the summer school is advertised. I do not have a definitive answer on that. But as of right now, it is something that we're not planning to offer. Okay. Are social science summer courses for MYP program offered in person or virtual or both? Does anybody know that offhand?
I'm being told that the geography in summer school will be asynchronous, meaning that it will not be a live taught course, not in person, and not synchronous online. It'll be asynchronous online.
Okay. Had a
And RO,
question.
can I add it in, the ROP is on site?
Okay. We had a question here. Can we take both ROP, mental and behavioral health, and Math 2 semester 2 during the summer? Math 2 semester 2 will actually be a 4-week class. It will span both sessions. So that will not be an option to take both over the summer. Okay. Any additional questions? Hi, Matt. I'm glad to see that name. Sorry. An old friend. Is there a listing for summer school classes that is not available yet? Again, we are waiting on administration to finalize that list.
The current list of summer school proposed classes was, I think, roughly slide 6 or 7 of tonight's presentation. But more information will follow, and it will be arriving right at the time that the Claremont High School counselors return to El Roble, March 27th and 28th. The district is very much aware of the need to be prompt with that.
Jeremy, there was a question about what are the advantages of taking the IB versus the AP exam, or both of them in general?
Ms. Aber, do you want to answer that one?
Sure. So just to be clear, IB exams are given depending on the type of IB course you take. And these are questions really for juniors and seniors, but we're happy to answer it. IB SL classes, which at the high school would include in science, like sports exercise, environmental science, physics SL. Those are 1-year course length classes, and you take the exam in May when the course is ending. When you're taking an IBHL course, such as English, history, HL music, HL bio, HL mathematics, HL language, perhaps, that is a 2-year course sequence, and you take the HL exam at the end of the 2-year course sequence, also in May, so May of senior year for HL course exams. In terms of how colleges view AP and IB exams, for the most part, AP scores of 3 or better are accepted for advanced placement by most schools, although more competitive colleges and universities may be looking for scores of 4 or 5 on an AP exam before they waive it and give you advanced placement. IB exam scores of 4 is considered passing, and scores between 4 and 7 will be accepted by colleges. And again, more selective schools will expect and only waive the freshman year equivalent course for scores of like 6 or 7. And generally speaking, SL, IB exams, not as commonly taken by colleges. Most colleges will view the HL exam, which again reflects a 2-year course sequence in junior year and senior year. AP exams and IB exams are always done in May, again, as students are completing the school year and they have maximum knowledge and mastery of the subject area.
Sorry about that. All right. Is there a way to get into higher math through a test, or do we have to take a class over the summer? Ms.
So
Avery, you want to answer that?
Yeah, in the course request form, your students, we went over the math progression. If your student is currently in Math 1-2 at El Roble and wishes to accelerate, one option would be to take the Integrated Math 2 Semester 2 class this summer through the Claremont High School Summer School program. And that 4-week math class would allow your student to either take Integrated Math 3 in freshman year or an even more accelerated math option in freshman year could be the Enhanced Math 3/AP Pre-Calculus. That is a full year of Math 3 and the full year of AP Pre-Calculus in one school year. So the pace is very quick, but it's really perfect for kids who adore math and really excel in mathematics. But the only way to accelerate if you're in 1-2 is to take 2-2 this summer. So you can have the choice for higher math like Math 3 or the Enhanced 3 math class. If your student is currently in Math 1 doing well, they should select Math 2. They can accelerate in high school once they get into Math 2, ninth grade, they can then accelerate into the Enhanced 3 AP Pre-Calc option for sophomore year. And if your student is currently taking Math 2 at Claremont High School, then they will be encouraged to take Enhanced 3 AP Pre-Calculus. They won't see that class on their form because it's very atypical. A very small handful of students are ready for that, but they can put that Enhanced 3 AP Pre-Calc request on the additional information box, which is at the very end of the electronic course request form.
Okay. Any of my colleagues, do you see any questions we haven't answered yet that I've missed? We're running close to the end of time. Just squeezing back through here. I don't think I see anything. Again, I would encourage you, please join us on Open House. We would love to see you there, get to meet some of you. There will be at 6 p.m. a new student and family orientation meeting. It's a great time to learn more about CHS and get kickstarted into visiting classrooms. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you again for joining us. We look forward to working with your students as they come to Claremont High School next year. Bye, everybody.
Good night.